Good morning, children. Welcome to science class. So, in science, we are learning block 21, which is force. And we have learned what is force, which is push or pull of an object. And also, we have learned the effects of force. Isn't it, children? That means a force can make the thing to move and it can also stop the moving thing, isn't it? And also, it can change the direction of a moving object. We have taken the example of a cricket ball or a hockey ball, isn't it? Changing the direction of its movement, of its position, isn't it, children? And also, force can change the shape of an object. We have learned it. Okay, so and in the second topic, we have learned what is the magnetic force. That means the force exerted by the magnet is called magnetic force. It pulls the iron things towards itself. That is your magnetic force. And gravitational force is the force exerted by the earth. The earth pulls all the objects towards itself, isn't it, children? That is nothing but your gravitational force. We have learned about it. That means the two types of forces we have learned, magnetic force and gravitational force. Now we will learn the another type of force, which is friction, in the third topic. Okay, so please open your science content book, children, and turn to page number 132. 132. Okay, so friction is the force which acts between two surfaces. Okay, that means in between the two surfaces. That means, see, this is a object and this is the floor. So the surface of the floor is contact with the surface of the object, isn't it, children? So when these two surfaces come in contact with each other, there will be some force that is called frictional force. Okay, when two surfaces are in contact and they are trying to move, that means they are trying to slide across each other, at that time frictional force acts. Okay, for example, if you see, this person is pushing the object this side, isn't it, children? And the frictional force will be acting in the opposite direction, like this. Okay, when two surfaces are in contact with each other, there is no gap between them, like this. See, like this, they are in contact with each other and they are trying to move. Okay, if it is in opposite direction, or sometimes one surface will be constant, the other object will be moving. Okay, when it is moving or when it is sliding, the frictional force acts, okay, to the direction opposite to the movement of the object. Okay, if the object is moving this side, then the frictional force will be acting this side. Okay, opposite. If the object is moving this side, the frictional force will be acting this side. Okay, it's always the opposite direction. Okay, children. And when the frictional force depends on the surface. Okay, so when the object is moving on a smooth surface, then we need to push very small. That means little amount of force will be enough to move the object. But if the surface is rough, then we have to push it with the more effort, with more force, more push we have to give. Okay, so that is a difference. So friction is nothing but the force which acts between two surfaces when they are sliding or when they are moving, we can say. Okay, and this frictional force will always acts in the opposite direction to the movement of the object. Okay, and also this friction is more on the rough surface. Can you see here, children, how rough the surface is? Here the surface is more smooth. So surface, if the surface is smooth, then it is friction is less, so that you can use only little force to move the object. If the surface is rough, then it requires more energy to push the object. You have to apply more force. So to apply more force, you need more energy. So more energy, more force is required to push the object on a rough surface. Why? Because the friction will be more. Okay, so okay children, and because of this friction also produces heat. Okay, how? If you rub your hands, you start feeling warmer, isn't it children? It becomes little hot, it becomes little warm. Why? Because of the friction between the hands. We are touching each other, isn't it children? The hands will be on one another, will be touching one another, isn't it? So because of the friction between the hands, between the palm, the heat is produced. Okay, so by that we can say friction also produces heat. Okay, and because friction is more on the rough surface and less on the smooth surface, you can observe that when the floor is wet, it becomes difficult for us to walk, isn't it children? Why? The floor became smooth because of the water, and the friction will be less, so that we can't hold or stand or walk on the wet floor. If the floor is dry, the friction will be more, so that we can stand. Okay, so that is a friction. Okay, how it acts, where it acts, how much it acts on a different surfaces and all. Okay children, so this is our topic for today. I have given few keywords in your daily schedule. Please learn them and write it in your classwork. Okay, and also underline in your content book. If you want to add any other word which is difficult for you, you can add it in your keywords. Okay children, now coming to your question answers. What is friction? Friction is the force that acts between two surfaces in touch. And also you can include that friction acts opposite to the direction in which object is moving or trying to move. That point also you can include. Okay children, next one. Do all the forces have same effect? Give reasons for your answer. No. Why? Because the magnetic force and the gravitational force is making the object to move towards itself, isn't it children? It is pulling the things, whereas the friction is stopping the objects, isn't it children? Yes, on a rough surface, if you are trying to move, it is not moving. That means the friction force is stopping. Yes, on the smooth floor also, on the smooth surface also, it tries to stop. Because the frictional force is less there, it is easier for us. That means friction is stopping the objects. All the other forces which we have learned, magnetic force or gravitational force, it is trying to move things towards itself. So different forces will be having difference, okay, different effects. Okay children, so write these two answers in your classwork and please learn it children. Coming to your homework, complete the volume book 3, page number 28, S4, friction. Okay, so with this we have completed with our block children. So in the next class I'll meet you with the new block children. See you in the next class. Bye.